That was
We are live.
Private or public sector? All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Punk Rock Libertarians Podcast, episode 387. I am Otto. Tonight I'm joined with Jared.
Hello.
Just Jared. Alex Schlegel.
Hello, everybody. Good to hang out.
And B, the B-A-double-B.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, boy. And a special guest. What the hell was that?
Oh, the
Do you have a
soundboard.
soundboard?
That's
Is that
a honk.
sound?
Yep. That's a honk
my
for
God.
Babs.
Oh, good Lord. Stop honking. And a special guest, Angela McCardle.
Thanks for having me.
The next
Welcome.
chair of the Libertarian Party. Live.
Yeah,
So,
hopefully.
That's right.
So,
You're trying to be the ringleader. Is that what do they call it? Ringmaster?
The ringmaster.
title?
The
Ringmaster.
ringmaster.
Okay.
no, that's offensive.
Gandalf?
You can't say master anymore.
The
And
rodeo.
you know that, right?
clown.
You guys know that when they show houses, they can't say master bedroom. They say main bedroom. They took it
Yes.
off all the websites. I didn't. I was recently came aware of that, which is fine, hilarious, because master is too offensive. So Star Wars is fucked even more. But
Well, that's 'cause
yeah,
they're a bigot.
yeah. Well, we all are, aren't we?
Well,
Yeah. Well, so I just got distracted. So I'm sorry. I'm drinking a White Claw. I'm sorry, Babs. I know this offends you deeply. But what makes it even worse is we had some crabs over the weekend, and we left them in the fridge, and I guess it's starting to smell because now the
oh,
can
no.
it smells like crabs.
Your
and I'm
crabs
like,
are
this is so
starting to
gross.
smell. I think maybe you should see a doctor, dude.
Did you not eat the crabs?
We had a few left over that my wife was gonna make into crab soup, but she just never got around to it. And so now my White Claws smell like crabs. So yes,
All right.
my
Well, that's
weekend. So-
some details into Auto World there.
So Angela, you had a good weekend. I heard. I've been hearing some good things. The California convention. So why don't you tell us a little bit what happened out there?
yeah. So the California Libertarian Party convention took place in Long Beach at the Marriott. We did not have a vaccine mandate. No one checked your papers or asked to jam a stick up your nose in order to come in. So that was the first thing that I thought that was really good. We managed to dodge that
Nice.
bullet without any controversy. And it was a fantastic event. We had Dave Smith down to speak Friday and
Nice.
Saturday night. Yep. He was very well received. Everybody was cordial and friendly. We got off to a great start. It was very packed. It was a packed house. I would say that this is probably record attendance for a non-presidential election year. So that was really encouraging too. We have outgrown that venue, sadly, so we won't be able to have any more conventions there going forward. That's a good problem. And there were a lot of high quality people elected into executive committee positions. We've got people with marketing and film skills, like things that could actually help improve our messaging. We got them elected. We got some people with professional board experience elected, and a whole lot of Mises Caucus people are on the executive committee now. So that's
Are all
really
the old people
encouraging.
in California out? I don't remember the names, but I remember them just having a bunch of horrible losers running that California LP. Like,
So some of the older people in the party are still in positions of leadership at the county level. And, I'm not sure if they're the horrible ones you're talking about, but they're definitely older. And
I'm not saying. I mean, I'm older.
they're still
I
around.
mean, I'm not saying they're horrible because they're older, but I just know the people that used to run it were just the worst. The
the
party.
worst,
Like,
the
yeah.
worst. Well, so whoever they are, they're
Did you
probably
say weld?
They're probably still around. That guy's not around. It's
Speaking
interesting
of the
that you
worst of the
mentioned.
LP.
It's interesting you mentioned him. Yeah, we were not sending our best. That guy, we were promised by a certain former national chairman that he would stick around for life because he purchased a lifetime membership. And
Libertarian
it
for
turns
life.
out it turns out that buying something doesn't actually make you the best libertarian. It's that you can't actually buy your way into being principled and ethical. So, we all have learning experiences, right?
I think
Turns
Bob
out,
Barr was also a lifetime libertarian.
yeah. Yeah, it's really fascinating how spending $1,000 doesn't actually guarantee that you're a good person. So Bill Weld is he's not around anymore, and I hope that everybody who thought he would be has the good grace to be embarrassed and
Just
not
be glad he's
continue.
gone. Jesus.
Yeah, not continue to chase after him. He's we have bingo in the California Mises Caucus for events. We were so busy this time I forgot to pass it out, which is a shame. But one of the squares on bingo is when you hear someone say "fuck Bill Weld." So
Bingo.
yeah, that's a thing.
But it just seemed like the California was the kind of like the nesting ground for these people that wanted the Bill Welds and the Bob Barrs and the
Absolutely it
Gary
was.
Johnsons and the, just ugh.
So the old timers in California are split. You have some old timer radicals who are definitely principled libertarians. Doesn't mean that they're great at running things, but they're solid philosophically. And then you have some old timers who I'm not really sure what their intention is. I feel like they're a little bit more Republican light or free market Democrat. So they just, they chase after whoever's got a big name or whoever's run for office, and Bill Weld, they're just like salivating over Bill Weld. And I don't think most of them, they're not particularly active. And even if they're in positions of leadership, they're not active, which
They're
is
like,
a real shame.
They're just like hoping Bill Weld can introduce them to like the Council on Foreign Relations or the World Economic Forum.
I think so.
Like somebody's got to
think
get us
so.
into these circles of power.
I think the idea for those sort of people is it's sort of like, like how police salivate at the war on drugs because it never ends. So it means job security. So I think for a lot of these like old timer, moderate, pragmatic libertarians, they don't want to end the Fed. They don't want to get rid of taxes. They just want to keep fine tuning it and whittling it down to what they think is like a fair and reasonable policy because it gives them something to talk about for forever.
Yeah,
We
Gary
call those-
Johnson fair tax,
We call those
Yes.
MinComs. They're
Mincoms.
the minimum amount of communism required.
There we go. Yeah. So MinComs. Yeah. So we do have a
MinComs.
handful of MinComs sticking around.
I love
All
a
right.
good Babism.
Oh shit!
Now,
Well,
don't
didn't
be.
California one time they had their convention on like a cruise ship,
Yes.
cruise ship to try to keep poor people away?
Yes, they did. They did. I believe that was under Kevin Takanaka's leadership. He's gone. I think he moved out of state.
And that was, I'm sure there was no like LibSoc caucus present on that convention.
There was
The
not.
Libertarians were not there.
There was not.
The
It's this crazy.
Pobbertarians.
Yeah. So instead of gatekeeping people financially, we should probably gatekeep philosophically. But that doesn't happen. Not yet. We're not there yet. So hopefully one day we'll get there where we actually become a party of people who are, freaking libertarians in the Libertarian Party.
Wow, imagine that.
That sounds like crazy talk. There's
Whoa.
no way you're getting elected chair, Angela. I'm
Whoa.
sorry.
Yeah. There's a lot of projection. There's a lot of projection that comes out of our haters. So people who hate the Mises Caucus or people who are Mises adjacent and friendly to us, what do they scream all the time? Republican infiltrator, Republican infiltrator. What do they want more than anything? To nominate a former Republican for our presidential candidate.
Yeah.
It is mind blowing how confused they are on what they're actually about. Because that's how it always shakes out, guaranteed.
I have a question for you, Angela. Just, it seems strange that we have to ask this question, but based on previous chairs of the LNC, have you ever worked for the CIA?
I have never worked for the CIA.
Are you an asset of any kind for the deep state?
Not knowingly. I hope I don't wake up one morning and someone has flipped a switch somewhere and I'm just like,
MK Ultra.
it's just like
If you could just walk us,
marching off.
if you could just walk us through your past 10 to 15, 20 years prior, give
Did
us
you
the
ever
details.
own
Did you own a
a
used car
Used
dealership?
cars, yeah.
I've never sold a used car. I drive a stick shift and I
Whoa.
drive a used car.
Whoa! All right, she's got
All right.
she's got potential now.
Yeah.
Credentials. Drive a stick shift.
Yeah.
I drive a stick shift. I eat raw meat. I lift kettlebells. I am all of those awful
Damn.
stereotypes, all rolled
Yeah.
into one.
Hell
Everything
yeah.
about me is horrible.
Nice.
Definitely not a Fed. Definitely not a Fed.
The worst Fed ever, if I am.
All right. What are your what's your rap sheet? Like any felonies,
Yeah.
misdemeanors?
I've never been arrested as an adult.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But as a child, you were precocious?
I was ambitious. as a teenager.
Prodigy. We'll say
Yeah.
she was a prodigy.
Well, I did this thing when I was a teenager, where I moved across the country and reestablished my life, and was looking for work and that whole thing. And apparently it's like illegal. It's called running away, and so that got me in a little bit of trouble. But other than that, I've got a pretty clean record. Pretty clean.
All right. Well, you can work on that.
I can.
Plenty
I
of
can.
time. There's
There's
still
room to
time.
grow.
Yeah.
Well, I have a litigation background too, so that's kind of like an interesting thing. So I'm good at getting myself out of trouble.
I've been
I know how to-
litigated. Yeah.
Oh, you have? Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. I mean, I love it. I think lawsuits are so much fun, and I just enjoy them. And I'm just like, ooh, someone's getting sued. Ooh, but usually it doesn't.
Well, I'm glad
happen.
someone can be happy about my divorce.
Yeah.
It
No,
always
that's
comes back to divorce.
So that's a strategy I have. We're going to be recruiting a bunch of divorce attorneys into the Libertarian Party because they all have such a thick skin. They don't mind infighting and drama. They live for that shit. That's like literally their bread and butter. So we're going to pull a bunch of divorce attorneys into the LP, and then we'll be in good shape.
You lost bad there. You lost bad on the
You lost-
attorneys.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
All right, good.
So more about the convention. I heard it was like so how many days did you guys have? How many official
So-
days was it?
Our conventions are usually 2.5 days. So Friday night or Friday afternoon, and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday. It went really well. I mean, I think I know what you're getting at, and it's that the Mises Caucus did actually sweep the elections, and everybody that we endorsed was voted in. We didn't lose a single spot. I will say though that not every single person we nominated or endorsed is actually in the Mises Caucus. We did nominate a few allies and people that we thought were really good and at their jobs and had been in the party a long time. We did nominate them for positions and help get them elected because there are good people in the party outside of the Mises Caucus, and I don't want that to be overlooked. But
Are
I'm
you
sure
making
that.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sure that that's not the optics of it. It's going to be the evil Mises edgelords took over
Yeah.
every position, and they're going to destroy the party. But
Pretty much.
Tish,
Are you
use
making
it
the rounds to other
That's what they're doing to
conventions,
this
or
podcast.
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
about in the East Coast, like Pennsylvania or New Jersey?
So I am on the East Coast all the time. I'm on the East Coast almost every weekend. It's getting kind of outrageous.
How about the Pennsylvania LP or
Tell me about
New
Yep.
Jersey LP convention?
I'll be in Pennsylvania. I won't be at the New Jersey convention, but I was able to actually meet with the New Jersey guys back in December. I was able to have a
Nice.
meetup with them and hang out after my Soho Forum debate.
Cool.
Oh, that's right. You flew out for that.
I did. I got to visit the desolate wasteland that is New York City.
Yeah. How was it? Was it like?
Wait, it
with
still
the-
exists? I assumed it had been like flooded by global warming or communism or like.
Well, it
Same
has. Yeah, it has
Okay.
been flooded by communism. Absolutely.
I didn't know
How
it
was
was
it?
still habitable in any way.
I hadn't been to New York City before, which I'm sure is
Oh, that
is
sucks.
shocking and weird.
You've never been in the before times.
Damn.
I've been to New
That's-
York. I've been to New York several times to upstate, but I had not been to New York City.
Uh,
It had just always, it had never worked out. Every time I'd planned or thought, something else came up. So it was
So
kind
you
of
are coming
sad.
to the Pennsylvania LP convention?
Oh, absolutely.
Because
Definitely
I
be
was
there.
thinking about going to that one. Like people
You
keep trying to
should.
get me to go, and
It'll
it
be a
seems
good
like
time,
it's going to be a real
Babs.
hoot. But so maybe I'll come out there. You guys all coming?
I'll be there.
Otto,
I already
Otto and I
got-
are going. My brother,
When
I'm
is
picking up
this?
my brother. We're going up.
The weekend after next.
I think you should go. I think
Look,
maybe
look what
you
I have
should.
right here.
Yeah.
You
You're
are
invited.
invited.
Yeah,
Babs is
there you
going.
go.
Babs is going
Yeah.
to the LPPA.
Where is it
convention.
being held?
Williamsport,
The fine town of Williamsport, Pennsylvania, which is like,
home of the
I don't
Little
know.
League World Series.
yeah,
That's it.
and that's
Yeah.
it. And Penn College of Technology. The last time I was there was a college visit, like 25 years ago. It's so Yeah,
Are you
it's like
still
out
waiting
there.
for your acceptance
Oh,
letter?
Yeah, I'm still
by the
waiting.
way-
One day I'll get accepted. But
I
it's
saw
out there.
something. I saw something from Kevin somebody who's like, I
Oh.
think he's the Pennsylvania something executive director or
was.
something.
Yeah,
Kevin,
we'll talk.
yeah.
We'll talk
Well,
some
he was-
after hour stuff.
I guess he put out something. It was like showing the recent membership increases, right?
Oh,
And I thought, I just congratulate him. I said, wow, like Mises Caucus did a great job there. Congrats, dude.
they love to take credit. They love to take credit for, but then not mention. They
Right,
love
and
to
it's
do
all
that.
right because if I recall, like the way it went, like you guys brought in all these people to the convention last year, but then they didn't credential them because of the 90-day rule or 60
180 day.
180-day rule, which usually got waived, but
It
didn't
got
this
waived
time,
like
just
all
to
the fucking time. All the time.
Right. But meanwhile, you still have all this new membership, but they're willing to take credit for that. They're like,
Right.
yeah, look at all the new members we brought in. Oh, we don't let them vote in convention, but hey.
I have a
Like-
feeling credit will be given at the next convention because I think it's going
Right.
to be unavoidable.
100%.
Unavoidable.
I mean,
100%.
is it good? I hope it's just going to be just an overwhelming with superior numbers kind of situation, right? I mean,
Yeah.
please don't lose to these losers. I mean, God,
What
that was just
happened?
so humiliating, right?
Yes, it would
Especially if
be.
I'm going all the way out there, like,
Yeah.
like that would suck.
Babs only wants to hang with winners at the after parties. He just wants to hang with winners.
Well, see,
So-
I bailed out on I used to do stuff for the LP of Pennsylvania, like in the early 2000s, and I put a lot of sweat into trying to help them with, but eventually it just got swamped with losers, and I'm like, I'm just tired of being surrounded by morons, and I had to get out.
Then what are you doing
so-
here? Charity.
Nostalgia, yeah, it's
CFR is calling you. Join the winners. Join the winners.
yeah, just have fun with it, but it seems like it's going to be a great time. So why
Yeah,
not?
at least
I think-
come for the fun.
I think
Yeah.
it's going to be great. I'm going to go. I'm going to participate maybe in the first 10 minutes of business. And then I'm not going to vote in any of your internal elections because that would be in poor taste of me to
Right.
do so. And I think that would be something, like that
What about me?
former national chairs should think about.
Should I
So-
vote in it? I'm the
absolutely.
Region 5. I'm the Region 5 rep. Or
Dude,
alternate
you're
rep.
in, man.
Oh,
You're in.
actually, no. Actually, so I was at the Virginia convention over the weekend, and
Where was that? Was it in Richmond?
right outside Richmond. Yeah. So
Okay,
Richmond's
Richmond's cool city.
It was pretty cool. I haven't been down there in a long time, so it was pretty cool to get down
Except
there.
for
It was
the
like 2 hour drive.
eternal poop flame.
For-
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't
off
get
the
to that.
highway.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
get
like
to
way
that.
down south off of 90. Yeah,
That's
Tell
crazy.
me
But I-
more.
it's like this. Is it a sewage treatment plant?
Yeah, the city collects all the fart gases out of the sewer, and then they burn them in a giant torch to the city government. To just
It's like-
it's like
This sounds like
the tomb of the unknown soldier or something. I don't know, like some kind of
this-
eternal flame of citywide farts that unifies the city, and they can all look at it and know that
burning
some of
sewage
that
over
gas
Richmond.
burning came out of my ass, but yet it's all the city together. So
It's like that sounds kind of like they took the idea of that girl. Did you see on the news? She was like selling her farts and ended up in the hospital. 'Cause she ate too much fiber. Like
Oh,
maybe they
yeah.
maybe they
That's-
know each other.
that's commitment to a gig, like you
Yeah.
got to respect that.
Yeah.
Hey man,
So-
whatever pays. So I was down in Virginia, so I didn't get to see that, unfortunately. But
bummer.
I did. So I got there at the convention, and they gave me my badge and everything. But on it said Region 4, alternate rep. So that's
What
what.
FEMA, what,
Yeah,
what
I
FEMA
was like,
region
cool.
is that?
So I tagged California. I was like, hey guys, I got a surprise for you. We do alternate rep because Region 4 is all California.
Yeah.
for people
Is
who don't
Jim
know.
Lark still the Region 5 rep, or did he
Jim
finally
Ji-
retire?
but Jim Lark was there. He had all right. So the vice chair and the chair of Virginia did not show up to the convention.
What?
So it
Why?
was chaired by I forget who this guy was. I forget. Probably apologize. But and so they all were like, no, we can't have him. Lark's here. We'll have Jim Lark do it. And so they had him pretty much run the whole convention.
But he's not the Region 5 rep anymore.
No.
Okay.
That's Susan Hogarth.
People didn't show up.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel so much better about anything that anybody said about California. Like that just instantly. Apparently, we were not. That's absolutely tasteless and insane.
Well, why show up and be humiliated, right?
Well, no,
Why
they're
don't you just
actually.
stay
I know.
home?
I was apparently. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into it, but apparently they said that they were sick, but then they got tagged on Facebook at another event that same day, and then it got deleted. I don't know.
They got the coof. They got the coof.
Let's call it COVID related and move on.
There you go. So, but yeah, that was funny about my badge, and there was literally it was cool because we got I just got the hang back. It was Pennsylvania Pennsylvania was my first convention I ever went to that wasn't in my state, in Maryland. So this was my second one out of state, and this was the one time where I didn't feel like I needed to pay attention to every detail that was going on. I could just hang back, and so we hung back.
You
at
never
the bar.
have to pay attention. You can always just
so
hang back at the bar.
We were
It's
at the
totally
bar.
acceptable at any LP event.
And they ran out of bourbon. Everyone's just doing shots of bourbon. So we're just doing shots of bourbon. Yeah, and so they asked me and Susan to go pick up more bourbon from one of those ABC stores. And
that's right, because you got to go. Yeah, so Virginia and Pennsylvania, they're Commonwealth
government
states.
owns.
So they have the government owns all the booze, Angela, and it's
right, like kind of like the Soviet Union.
That is so
weird.
Depending on where you live, it's like, God damn it, I got to drive really far away, or like
right.
That
Pennsylvania, they actually call them state stores. It's called a state store.
Go to the state store. So fucking.
Some people thought, hey, you know what? Let's let them sell weed too. That'd be great.
Well, yeah. I mean, are there hookers? Like, how far does this go?
No, unfortunately not. Could you imagine a government hooker?
Their state,
That'd be the worst.
they run the state runs gambling and liquor and weed.
Well,
yes, I can.
Child prostitution is done out of Philadelphia City Hall and Harrisburg state capitol. So
that's where the sex workers, they'll work at the state stores. That's where the brothels will be that are sponsored. Once legal prostitution, you'll go to the state store. Yeah, because they suck, because they're run by the government, so they're always a pain in the ass. So Otto, you had to go.
Union. Like the Soviet Union collapsed under this model, but Pennsylvania, it lives on.
Wow.
So when people ask, like, what does the region alternate and what does the region rep do? They go on booze runs to the state store. We go on booze runs.
That's exactly what we do. And so we got a big old bottle of bourbon, and we brought it back, and we just continued. And by the time the convention was done, that was almost all gone too. So it was crazy. I must have had like 10 shots. I must have had like 10 shots the whole day, just doing shots. And I didn't pay for the food ticket thing. Plus it was tacos, and everyone knows I don't like tacos. So
shots fired.
Yeah, I don't like tacos.
Shots fired. That's
dude, I don't get that.
You and Dave Smith will probably get along great.
That's like that's like racist. How do you not like tacos?
Too much work. It's too much work for too little reward.
To pick up a taco and eat it? It's too much work?
But yet this dude will bust crabs like nonstop. Like,
you're goddamn right.
You're goddamn
right.
But you're
what
like,
if we put the
so
tacos in a giant pile in front of you? Would that change it? I mean,
no, because I don't like taco seasoning. I don't like taco seasoning either.
You're fired. Recall Otto.
He's just an alternate. Don't worry.
You heard it here first.
He can't do that much damage.
Otto.
This is our biggest take that we always everyone hates me for.
Taco
I understand.
Taco Gate brings down Otto.
This is why I can't. People are like, why don't you leave California? And I'm like, tacos, palm trees, weather. Yeah, communism. I know, but apparently you've got communism in Pennsylvania and
plus snow and garbage and no palm trees.
So there's a gas station by my house, but it's like a few miles away from me. It's close to where I work, and it's ranked the number one in the country. It's literally attached to a gas station, a Shell station in Maryland, and it was ranked the number one in the entire world or entire country for tacos. And I had tacos there, and I did not like the tacos.
I thought they were tacos gross. Are the best.
I would say gross. It just wasn't my thing. I love spicy foods. I don't know. Something about the seasoning of the meat. I just can't get into it. Everything falls apart, falls out all over the place. I don't like it.
Those are poorly designed tacos.
Whitest PRL podcast.
It is. It
They
really
just
is.
say they're too spicy, Otto. Okay, that's what you
Oh
should say.
no! What are you
No,
eating
Say
in
it doesn't have
Maryland?
enough. It doesn't have enough mayo for Otto.
I love
Yeah, I was gonna
spice.
say,
I
what are
love it.
even what are Maryland tacos anyway? It's probably like
It's like
mayonnaise.
This is right.
it's like
Ketchup.
Old Bay
Ranked number one in the
seasoning.
country.
You
Number
can
one in the
get
Some
country.
great. We've got some great.
Yeah, there's some
Tacos
good
out here.
spots. Yeah, if you go to the legit spots, there's like
There's a big
there's this one
Hispanic
block.
population out here.
Yeah, this one block in Baltimore. It's Eastern Avenue. It starts basically it's Greek Town for like a block, and then another block. It's there's like a
You're
lot
talking
of
like Haven
Hispanic
Street,
restaurants.
that whole area.
What is
Yeah.
Hispanic? Why did everyone all of a sudden start using this term created by Richard Nixon? Hispanic.
Right. Well, because it's a whole like
Hispaniola.
I don't know.
Because
What
they're
do you
from
call it?
Hispaniola.
there's a Latino
It's
community.
Latinx.
Latin community.
No,
don't use that Latinx.
You heard it here
Latinx.
first.
Yeah.
Latinx.
That's the white
Latinx,
communist term. That's the white
You're right.
communist term.
Yeah, but there's
Gosh, damn.
It's my worst take. Everyone hates me for it, but I'll eat any other type of meat. I don't care. I'm not prejudiced against
or
meat.
the
Menudo?
food trucks or the food
Menudo?
truck tacos.
Do you hate
Menudo.
all Mexican food? Menudo, burritos,
I don't- Burritos
don't
are
fall apart.
okay. Yeah, they're
Well, if he
okay.
doesn't like the meat and seasoning, he's not.
How about-
gonna
I don't like
like
the
anything.
seasoning of it.
Oh,
Fajitas?
oh, yeah. Hello, sizzling fajitas.
I mean,
What about
I'll-
ceviche?
I'll
Do
eat-
you like ceviche?
Ceviche,
I don't know what
shrimp
ceviche is.
cocktail.
oh,
Holy
It's
Yeah.
like
Go
raw
drink your
fish,
White
basically.
Claw.
I
All right.
stay okay.
Region
I love
5
I love
alternate dude.
sushi. I love put everything for. I just don't like Mexican
Rockfish?
seasoning.
All right, Alex. Sorry,
Elote?
I can't. Alex, I can't make your website. I'm making
No.
a website for Recall Auto now.
Most white people still
Yeah.
like elote. It's like corn on the stick
What is
with
that?
like
Mm.
a little elote.
Like street corn?
Auto,
Like
you
yeah.
like culture.
Is that what
Street
street
corn.
corn? I've never had. It's got the tajin though. Tajin seasoning on
Tagine.
it. Tajin. I don't like tajin. I don't like that.
Okay. Disavowed. Disavowed.
All right, let's change the
We
subject.
found the
just
white
to spare
supremacy in
Otto
the
further
caucus.
humiliation.
I know it's gonna be used against me. It's fine. It's fine. But hey, you guys. If you guys meet me in person, you're like, hey, I got a taco for you to try. Bring me tacos, and I'll try it, and I'll see if you can get me to like it. There you go.
Yeah, whatever.
Do you like Korean food?
Yeah.
I'm not letting this go. All right, Korean
fuck
tacos.
is-
I'm gonna sell you on tacos. You're getting
Korean
LA fusion
tacos?
Oh, hell
I'll
yeah.
try it. I'll try it.
Yeah.
With
I'll,
some bulgogi.
if I,
Hell yeah, some like
I love
kimchi
pierogi.
cabbage or some
Yes.
pierogi.
Hell yeah, kimchi.
Kimchi
Never-
with like spicy Korean spicy mayo sauce.
I
and,
will try it.
Yeah,
Welcome to
shredded
the
beef
PRL
instead
cooking
of
hour.
All right.
Yeah.
It's just my bad take. It
Presented
derails
by
everything.
Angelo.
It always every conversation I ever have. It derails it when I bring up I don't like tacos. But
Well, do you go to the neighborhood in LA where the Korean neighborhood where they had the roof Koreans and the
Korean-
real
Oh.
there's
Yeah.
that's like a really cool Korean neighborhood there, right?
K-Town,
I-
K-Town is great. I mean, that generation of Koreans is not running the show anymore. So I don't know if we would,
Damn.
if things got crazy, I don't know if we would have the same show of support from the Korean community. You would from some of the shopkeepers, but I think a lot of them have since like retired and
I
passed the
follow-
reins on.
I follow that one guy. He's the original. He was in that photo. He was one
Yeah.
of the 4 guys, and I follow him on Twitter. He has a big following. Maybe he might have got kicked off, but Roof Korean, and
Mhm.
he like
Oh, yeah,
pretty
rooftop
much
Korean.
yeah. But I'm thinking about it. I'm like, oh damn, that was 30 years ago. But he's
Right.
like,
Was it that
he's-
long ago?
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
he's like a
1992.
feisty. He's a feisty old man. Like he pops up in videos where he's just like fucking up Antifa and like going to protests, and they're like bowing up on him.
Wow.
And he's like relentless, but you look at him and it's like, damn, he's like, they're getting up there. That generation is up there. So it's
Right.
not that generation of roof Koreans right now in LA. Yeah. But so what's that neighborhood? What's it like now?
Well, now it's sort of getting okay. So parking is insane, but there's nowhere that's more difficult to park in LA than Koreatown. Maybe Silver
I've never
Lake.
been to LA, but it doesn't seem appealing.
Oh, I haven't. I've been.
Okay, so
I'm cultured. I'm just
so
uncultured. Alex.
yeah, that's just that's almost as bad as not liking tacos. So LA, like the way I describe LA, the way I talk about it now, when I say I love LA, it's like I'm talking about a dead person, and I keep forgetting they died. Like, oh, I love my grandma. Oh shit, it's been 8 months. I keep forgetting. That's
Aw.
kind of how I feel. No, that hasn't literally been 8 months. I'm just saying that's the vibe I have
Gotcha.
about LA. Like it's what I love about it is dead and gone.
That sucks.
And the memory
Like the Hollywood
lives
parties.
on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not so
Ever
much
since
into,
Epstein left.
Yeah, I'm not so much into the date rape part. But,
Once the adrenochrome dried up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really what happened to LA. Yeah, the
No more
adrenochrome dried up due to
artisanal-
supply chain shortages.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, like it's just lame.
Yep.
Yeah,
Before
the music
Epstein
scene-
didn't kill himself. Yep.
The music scene was incredible, and that's pretty much dead. And nothing is the same. The vibe is always going to be killed if you have half or more of the audience walking around wearing masks. It's not the same. It's an absolute, just total buzzkill. And they check your papers. You want to go anywhere, you got to get your papers checked. So even if you're willing
What is it, like vaccine mandates and crap like that?
Yeah, even if you're willing to fake it.
Get some truckers. Man.
Isn't that starting?
You think LA is friendly to truckers?
Oh, hell no. That's
No.
why there's
No, dude.
supply chain shortages.
No,
Exactly.
I remember during the riots. When they pulled that one guy out of his truck and like they.
Oh,
smashed a
Reginald,
brick
was
over
it
his
Reginald
face.
Denny? In the
I was
original
horrified.
riots?
I was a kid and I saw it. I was like,
I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Right? Well, I was like, gee, that was fucked up. They drug him out of the.
How does the phrase go? Like, stay strapped or get clapped, right?
Stay strapped or get clapped, my friend. That's true.
How about those freight trains in LA? Did you see that?
Okay,
Angela?
so I used to live right next to one. That's true.
I saw those videos. That's
true.
fucking
What
wild.
is it? What's true?
Organized train robberies.
Yeah, basically. Well, you could talk about it, Angela.
So it's train looting. So these trains roll through LA, near downtown LA, and they go slowly. And you can hop a train. It's not that difficult, and they're not always locked. And so people get on there and they toss all of the Amazon packages out, and the amount of garbage and basically stolen property that's all over the place is like breathtaking. It is something to behold. So it's just like hundreds of feet. There's just litter everywhere where people have.
So somebody gets on the train while it's moving, opens it up, and just starts chucking stuff off as the train rolls through.
Yes.
It's going through. It's like 2 or 3 tracks, and it's going very slow or sometimes stop to get into the yard, and it's all coming from the port. So you guys see them. They're all coming out of like the port of Baltimore, those container truck, like the container.
Oh, yeah.
The intermodal.
Dude, I live
just
right
like,
by the.
Yeah. Like you've seen them, Jared. And
Otto
Dab.
lives
Like
in one.
Yeah. The trains that come in and out of the port of Baltimore, but yeah, they just bust into them. And it was like, isn't it? It was like a couple blocks, right, Angela, that were just scattered with garbage. It was like,
the pictures are pretty horrifying.
Fucking
It looks like
wild.
something you'd see like in like Honduras.
Well, what does railroad security have to say about any of this? Are they just
Railroad
like, we call 911 and wait, or what are they doing?
Oh yeah. No, they don't. These are government employees.
But
Okay,
it used
so
to be
let's-
railroads would defend themselves.
well,
What-
that's
like-
true. Yeah, but apparently there was
Pinkertons.
I don't know. I might have to get into
there's
the
no
docks,
Pinkertons.
but they only have like 1 or 2, and it's
There's
over a
not
couple
enough people.
blocks.
Think
Yeah.
about this. Put it in your perspective. You're a government employee. You have a cushy job, but you don't make a whole lot, right? What do these people make? I don't know. Maybe let's guess $25 to $30 an hour. And you're going to go risk your life and maybe get shot by gangsters or thugs who are
So
pulling.
when you say government employee, you're talking about the train operators? Is this like a mail
No,
train
no.
or something? Or what are you talking
No,
about?
the LA cops, they aren't doing shit about it. The government cops aren't, but the railroad police only has like 1 or 2, to protect, and it's like multiple blocks. Like, and I think there was a strike with the railroad cops or something. So they were very undermanned, or maybe with COVID.
How about until they get the staffing fixed, maybe booby traps? I mean,
technically it's their private property. I mean,
Maybe
they
the
can-
Okay.
rooftop Koreans
So
could
the
be
thing
brought in.
about
Yeah,
that,
let's bring back the rooftop Koreans.
okay, the
Protect
thing
the
about
railroads.
Train
booby
top
traps
Koreans.
is interesting because you're not allowed to booby trap anything in California.
You're not allowed
you're
to
not-
in Maryland either.
yeah, you're not allowed
Maryland's
to rob
like
a
little
train either.
California.
So
Yeah.
we'll call it even.
Not even your own property.
Yup.
So
That's what happened with Duncan Lemp. He did that in his property that was used against him as well. Apparently, in
Yep.
one of the
it's
in one of the threats.
outrageous. It's outrageous. So
Yeah.
like in Koreatown, actually, there's a section of Koreatown that's really rough, and people have their cars broken into all the time. So I'm like, well, dude, just put razor blades, in the car. You know where they're at. Just be careful when you sit down. Like, make sure you're wide awake before you get in your car. You can't do it. It's a felony. It's a felony to like intentionally endanger the life of someone who's trying to rob you or murder you. It's
I'll
ridiculous.
take my chances. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Private property rights. Don't try to steal my shit and then you won't get cut up. I
Don't
feel like this is
don't ride my
reasonable.
train, bro.
Well, where was it? Was it somewhere in San Francisco where everyone just leaves their back of their car, the trunk open, so people don't break them open? Like you just.
That's been all over California. That's a thing in LA. Like in that same part in Koreatown, it's customary to leave your glove box open and your car unlocked, but a stick on your wheel, so that no one can actually steal it, but so they can get in and look through it and find that, oh, there's nothing here, so they'll move on to the next car.
Oh wow, there's still a market for clubs in LA.
It's quite sad and humiliating.
Remember
Well,
when
that's why I
everybody
drive
used to
a,
have
I'd recommend
those,
the club.
in the
Yeah,
that's
remember
why I
those
drive a
commercials
stick
that,
shift.
I'm a law enforcement officer, and I recommend the club.
That's like the perfect car. It sounds like if you're in LA, have a stick shift because
It's an
Good.
anti-theft device because most
for real.
millennials and almost all Generation Z people, like, they can't drive a stick,
Hell no.
especially not an
So-
older one that's a little tricky.
So speaking
Check.
of COVID and stuff, you're talking about the regulations and everything going on. I mean, I know the LP, really hasn't been hard on this issue at all. I mean, I feel like they wait so long to put anything out to be on the right side of anything, and by that time, it's kind of milquetoast and really just not effective.
Yeah.
You're running for chair. There's some of this stuff like how would you coordinate some type of way where we can look like we're on top of things and defending liberty, but at the same time also not looking like a reactionary or something like that, and getting caught up and stuff like that.
The way to avoid being a reactionary is to actually stick to your principles. And so if your principles guide you on everything, if there's something violating them, you should be at the forefront. You should be the vanguard of, attacking whatever is attacking you, or, the first shield against the people, for the people who are being attacked. So I don't think that you have to be reactionary necessarily to stand against government tyranny. But, are you asking?
What would the LNC chair? What would the LNC's chair role be in this kind of stuff? Because like back in the day, like a chair was just kind of running a meeting, but now with Twitter and these platforms and media opportunities for the chair, it's more of a public face than I think it used to be. So, how would you use that in this situation?
So maybe what we could do is let's go back in time. We'll go back in time and say what I would have done if I was in the chair position. So in 2020, a bunch of people got elected and most of them were not even Mises friendly, and it sucked, and they were not principled, and they didn't know how to handle this. And I think that most of the people who got elected, they're not anti-libertarian. They're not secret Democrats. They're just people who are very uncomfortable talking about their principles, and they will just collapse and fold under pressure. And I think that's what happened. And the role of the chair in those situations is to encourage everyone to actually stand up for freedom and to defend it, and to judge the personalities and temperaments of the other people on the executive committee, especially the people in messaging, right? So first of all, appoint people onto committees where you have committee appointment authority who are going to actually be good at their job and not collapse under pressure. Very important. But given the hand that you're dealt with, what you got to do is you got to go to people and say, hey, we got to speak out on this. And if they're scared or they're like, oh, I don't know, this could be a really bad move for us, you got to encourage them and be like, you know what? I understand you're worried about it. I understand your concerns about the backlash, but I think that what we're going to do, if we do this, we're going to be like incredible. And we're going to be the only voice speaking out for all the people, the millions of people who are getting totally fucked over right now. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a statement on it on my own. And I want you to see the overwhelming support that we get. And when you see that, I want you to feel encouraged about it. And then we're going to make a statement against lockdowns and mandates. And I want it to be really hardcore, but I know you're not comfortable with that yet. So we're going to take it down just a couple of notches. And then we're going to wait, right? We're going to wait and see the support that we get. And then we're going to build up, and we're going to build up and build up. And if you do that, if you kind of meet people where they're at and you push them a little bit outside of their comfort zone, and you bring yourself down just a little bit, and you kind of meet, a little bit in the middle, you're going to set people up so that they can rise. And eventually what's going to happen, probably sooner than later, is you're going to bring those people with you. and encourage them to speak out boldly, and they're going to get positive feedback from the people that matter. And then we're going to keep going and keep going and get louder and get louder. And that's how you get the whole organization on board with speaking out against lockdowns. But more than, and what you got to do in these sort of situations, because it's a crisis, it's a national crisis, everyone's freaking the fuck out, is you got to plan for short-term decisions and short-term actions. Take things 1 week at a time so that you can deftly maneuver. And then you need to start building an actual call to action in it so that you're not just bitching on the internet. Because everybody loves to bitch on the internet, but eventually you lose support and enthusiasm when you don't have anything to do. So we should have had a national, like, call your legislators, call your whatever campaign. And then we should have identified little pockets in blue states that were defying mandates. And we should have highlighted that at the national level, seen what those people were doing, and encouraged other libertarians to do the same. That would have been what the National Party should have done. That's what I would have done if I had been working with people who didn't want to speak out boldly against lockdowns. This is why it's so important to have someone who's good in leadership, who's not a complete asshole. I'm a little bit of an asshole, and also not a complete wet blanket. You got to be able to kind of judge people, see where they're at, and understand what it takes to motivate them to get them to do what you need them to do. I hope that answers it. That's my rant. Okay.
No, I mean, that's a solid plan. It's kind of what people look forward to. I mean, what we were hoping for when this all started, and just never happened.
No, and it's because one of the members of the LNC, had made a comment like, "Oh, I don't think we should do that." Something to the effect of, "I think we should stay in our lane." So what that tells me is that we have elected people in the past who don't understand what our lane is. Our lane is to advocate for freedom, especially our most basic liberties, like the freedom to walk outside and go to work and go to the grocery store. Like, this
and
is
to
just
not be
really
injected.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, it's
your own
stuff.
bodily integrity. How about that?
Your own bodily autonomy, the freedom to not be held down and forcibly injected or coerced into getting it because people are going to rob you of your livelihood
or
and socially
tricked
alienate you.
into it, or bribed into it under false pretenses, or
so many disgusting things. How about the vaccine mandate or the vaccine lotteries? Have you guys read about those?
Oh yeah,
our government giving out millions of dollars to people who get vaccinated. Gross.
It's like, okay, you've got a 1 in 10,000 chance of winning the prize, but then what's your chance of
and a 1 in 20
cardiac inflammation?
Yeah.
Like what's your chance of dropping over dead?
Our governor, Larry Hogan, I tweeted it. I think I trolled one of the local stations, but he was promoting for the booster. And like he was partnering with a casino down towards Ocean Downs, and partnering with the Maryland Health Department and doing a vaccine clinic at this casino to get your booster. So I think it was the Mises Maryland page. I was like, come on down to the casino, take your chances at myocarditis or whatever the fuck,
God.
Like, wow, fucking
people
gross
have no
is that?
shame at all. There's
especially
they
when
have no limits, no shame.
It's like this shit is over. Like, they're pivoting to midterm elections and all these mandates are being dropped, yet they're still trying to be like Pfizer salesmen of the year. And
hey,
it's like,
in the end, they all have to answer to Klaus Schwab. Okay. Oh. And like they're doing what they can to not get lynched at home, but the last thing they want is their butt kicked next time they go to the World Economic Forum. Right. Hey, speaking of him, did you see? I saw a video. I couldn't tell when it was from, but it was Klaus Schwab doing one of his like interviews at his own like event or whatever, and he was talking about their young global leaders, I think, where they're grooming these like leaders, and he specifically mentioned Trudeau, and they were also mentioning Argentina, France, and how they're grooming these young leaders, and how they also have quite a few cabinet positions for their people now. And they're just openly bragging about this. And I'm like, okay, like, all right, like why is Justin Trudeau being this way? Like, ask his boss, like
exactly.
Like, and when you look at the kind of stuff coming out of Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum, it's like, oh yeah, total control, total dominance, like own nothing, blah, blah, blah. Like, total surveillance, total censorship, total, bio passport, internet passports, monetary passports, like total lockdown mentality. And, and Trudeau's he's taken the whole thing. So
it's not a secret conspiracy anymore. It's very out in the open.
they
It's
promote it. They have a website advertising
Yep.
it. Like they
like
make
the Great
videos.
Reset. They're
Yeah,
very
like,
open.
It's like you don't have to imagine what they're doing. Just listen. And it kind of makes sense when you see people like Trudeau, like whose interest is he serving? Like, is Big Pharma really paying him that much?
No, for his deputy secretary of, or whatever it is, deputy whatever, basically the vice, whatever Trudeau is. But she is on the board, I believe, the board of directors for this Young Global Leaders Initiative. And she's the one talking about, oh, hey, by the way, we're going to come after your Bitcoin. We're going to seize your bank accounts. Oh, GoFundMe. Like, we're going to track and seize your financial assets if they're in the bank. Like, it's fucking wild.
And that there are people in the United States and all the other countries, like which of these global leaders has condemned the tyranny in Canada? Right? Like when Putin did something vaguely sketchy, or any other people like China, like, oh, the outrage, right? Has any global leader come out and been like, yo, dude, like maybe reel that in? Like, are you sure you want to go there with the troops?
Yeah, some lady was just trampled in a scooter. That poor old lady. That was fucked.
Grandma in a mobility scooter trampled under horses. Yeah, where's the condemnation? Is there a single condemnation from a national leader that I haven't heard any?
No, because those are the wrong protesters. BLM protesters can get away with whatever they want. But other protesters who are advocating for freedom for everyone, which apparently is the wrong kind of freedom, we can all just get trampled by horses. That's really what it says.
Yeah, seems pretty clear that the other leaders are just waiting to see, like, is Trudeau really going to be able to get away with that? Maybe let's see how he does, and I'll try it.
Yeah, I'm sure they think this is a great opportunity.
So, yeah, we're showing a video here of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Oh, Jared, turn the volume up, Jared.
What's up?
Yeah, we can't hear it.
You can't hear it now?
No, go ahead.
No,
because
StreamYard would be fucking up.
The lady, because there's audio, but basically, like Baz was saying, they were interviewing this lady with a mobility scooter, and then they brought in the cops, like a whole line of cops on horseback.
Like cops on horseback, really? I mean, in the current year, I know they're the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and all, but
especially in a crowd, like what the fuck? That was fucked up.
I mean, and this is the type of tyranny and stuff that, I mean, we know that Biden called him and told him, hey, you need to crack down on these people. And apparently there's a convoy, allegedly, people keep talking about, that's coming to DC soon. I don't know. So this is the audio.
There we go. Yeah. So here she's being interviewed.
Here comes the horses. Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Look what you did!
So they ran over some lady in a wheelchair. Is that what?
It was a mobility scooter.
She kind of had, it was like a little scooter. I mean, she's
a rascal.
Yeah, exactly. And gets trampled. Apparently, she's still alive. She's in the hospital.
That's good.
But trampled by a horse. And yeah, like you said, not a single Western leader condemning this, yet everybody was just like jumping on BLM immediately, like, oh, just slightly peaceful protest, but just a little bit of burned buildings and looting and damaged private property.
Just all of the Targets, all the Starbucks, all the all the O'Reilly's,
all the
auto
things
parts
that create jobs for people who are low middle class earners. Yeah,
I did see an Antifa reply that was captured on Twitter from to the Ottawa police. Ottawa police said protesters are assaulting officers, have attempted to remove officers' weapons. All means of de-escalation have been used to move forward in our goal of returning Ottawa to its normalcy, except repealing the mandates and just leaving people alone. All right. Let's just But so here is this guy, John Thibault, with a Antifa logo on his on his icon. He says, "Despite my firm belief that ACAB, you're doing it right. We see that. We wish you'd done it sooner." So
wow. Hashtag Ottawa siege. Hashtag Ottawa. Hashtag Ottawa occupiers. Hashtag Ram Ranch resistance.
So now Antifa is joining police.
Pro police.
Yeah.
Wow.
How firm is
Right?
your belief in ACAB if you're cheering
Yeah.
on police?
Right.
It's kind of like, yeah, we know you're a bastard, but hey, good job. You know,
I mean, they're harassing everybody. Like they were harassing people just walking down the street to get a cup of coffee down at like Tim Hortons. And this there's a family being threatened. The cops, it's this couple that's had this coffee shop, I don't know how, for years in downtown Ottawa, and they're being threatened by the cops to shut down because they're helping the terrorist truckers. You know, you're helping out, like threatening to close their business down. It's fucked up.
well,
And-
you know, these emergency powers that went out, and I heard about like a woman who donated $50 to the convoy and her bank account's frozen. They're freezing accounts. Like if
So
you donated to that, you may have a frozen bank account now.
How about
that's the new, war front.
How about some of these fucking it was, I think that there was a couple quote corporate journalists that doxed some of these individuals. So
Somebody hacked the
Give Send Go.
Yeah. See if we can find. There's a video of a guy who took credit for it. Who's some kind of
he's a little unhinged.
some kind of unhinged. Looks like he could be
video game nerd.
But if he really did it, but yeah, I mean, they're taking credit for it. They're publishing the names of people that donated to a charity, and like, I don't know. It's like this is being shared on Twitter. Like, isn't Twitter like supposed to like block this kind of stuff?
Yeah,
With their new terms of service from a few months ago, you guys remember that? They were gonna protect everybody, no doxing.
Yeah.
But look at everybody getting doxed
yeah.
lately.
Now the corporate media is doing the doxing, so it's like, oh well, not
Rules
social
for
media.
thee, but not for me.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
and
crazy, so pathetic.
Yeah, and then the LP just coming out with a weak sauce messaging where we've known about this. The trucker rally has been going on for weeks now, and not a single anything from LP National. Nothing on messaging.
How about if I were chair? Let's see. If you guys were chair, you go last, Angela. What would you tweet out about this? I'll start. I'm going to say, send guns to Canada.
I just tweet this.
Arm the truckers.
Yeah.
Honk, honk.
Yeah, honk honk. Yeah, arm the Canadian truckers.
Yeah. Where are all the welders? It's like Killdozer time. What would be the message?
It's Killdozer time. I think that's getting a little edgy even for Angela as LP chair. Like that's.
But
at what point would you invoke Killdozers, Angela?
You can retweet Killdozers without even saying it. I mean, come on. Can we? The artful way to navigate things that might be a little over the line is to just retweet them without a comment. The people who need to know, they know.
Right, because you might be like, for all you know, you're like, look how horrible this is. I want everyone to see.
Just,
Do you have in your bios like retweet is not an endorsement?
Yeah, I wouldn't put that in my bio though. So what I would definitely do is I would be so bare minimum retweeting the best accounts that are covering this and retweeting the places where you can donate since GoFundMe has shut it down, and highlighting what you can actually do. Because we love to complain on the internet, but I think as a political party, we need to be providing people avenues to change this shit. And then
That's
also
why I want
maybe
to send them weapons.
Yeah. And then retweeting, putting out links so that we can actually help the trucker convoy in the United States. Because I think that's really important. If we're going to show solidarity, we need to show them that we're trying to do the same thing.
What is the status of trucker convoys in the U.S.? I'm a little worried.
I don't think it started yet.
No, it can't.
Has it been co-opted yet? I just expect it to be co-opted immediately.
Oh, no, I don't think it's going to be co-opted. I think we're past that politically. I think we're at a point now where they're not trying to co-opt our shit. They're just trying to shut us down and cancel us. I think that the era of astroturfing grassroots movements is kind of come and gone. I think
But
that
there's
right
always
now,
people that want to jump in front of the parade, right? We've
They're-
seen
they're
this
always-
like
but I
over
think-
and over again.
the mask is out.
What's it going to be like? What's it going to be in the U.S.? I just feel like I already saw somebody's tweet. They're like, it's more than just vaccine mandates. It's for the grandparents who died in nursing homes. It's for our destroyed economy. It's for the children. It's for the blah, blah, blah. It's for the this. And I just see that it's going to wander, it's going to wander and drift. And next thing you know, some Tea Party type thing.
Yeah, it's gonna make
ends
for
up,
Donald Trump.
it's like,
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, it's just
watered
gonna be
I'm
a
down,
Ted Cruz, and I support
general,
the truckers.
Okay,
I don't know.
so,
I hope I'm
yeah.
wrong.
Well, see, I understand what you're saying, but I do think that politically, the era that we're in, we're too polarized, and no one is going to co-opt or grift off of things until they know that they're totally safe. And the trucker convoy is not safe because of what we've seen happen in Canada. People like maybe Ted Cruz or who else, if Ted Cruz really grew a pair and came out, that would be fantastic. But I don't think that we're going to see that yet because these people are scared shitless because they're like, oh, fuck, I don't want my bank account being shut down. I don't want my assets seized. I don't want what happened. I don't want what happened to the people who were at the insurrection to happen to me. So I think this is a real line in the sand, and that we're going to see the people who are bold enough to actually stand up against authority come out, and people who are not, they're not ready to join us yet.
Maybe there's some lessons learned too. Like, how about instead of taking your really nice truck, you buy some old junker that's practically gonna barely get there anyway, right? And you fill it full of concrete, right?
There's a lot. Well, that's
and then you weld the
C4
gearbox, and you just
You
really go in
weld
there
up tannerite compartments.
Oh,
okay. I think I just watched something like this happen in Ozark, but
yeah,
we're not.
Seriously, what if you brought your truck in knowing that you're not getting it out?
So
right?
that's the thing is there's a lot at stake. And I think that for the people who are participating in this, they have to make that risk assessment because we are there. We're at that point where there is a chance that you're going to get all of your shit seized.
Well, what's the cheapest tractor trailer you can buy, right? I'm
Okay,
guessing
so
you
I
can
don't
get something
know
that
that.
runs for $10,000, right? Barely passes inspection.
Yeah, but how do you
I don't know about that.
How do you hide your identity?
You don't. You can't hide your identity.
No.
That's everything's on the line with this.
Yeah.
It's not. It's no place for people to fuck around and find out. This is for people who are absolutely serious about it, which is why they really do need support from LP National and anybody else.
Right, at least the moral support,
get some
the
snacks. They
political
can't forget
cover,
the snacks.
I will feed them snacks.
Well, and plus it comes down to, people like to see, people think oh, am I the only one that feels that way? Am I the only one?
Right.
But if you see some tweets, well, that's a political party. That's a legit political view. And look what they just said. That's the way I feel. It's going to embolden them, and it's going to let them know that, okay, there's others out there that are thinking like me, and I'm not crazy. And that can be huge in itself.
Absolutely. And that's one of the biggest, I think, reasons that I support rallies and protests. It's because at this point we know that they don't really change the hearts and minds of people in political positions of power. Whatever, fine. But it does change the hearts and minds, the attitudes of people who are nervous, who are on the fence and don't know whether or not they have the courage to speak out. When they see other people speaking out and doing good things, then they speak out too.
Courage is contagious.
It is.
Cool. Well, I think we're coming up on an hour now. So, Angela, thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to plug away, go for it right now. Where can people find you? Where can people donate?
Yeah. So if you're interested in finding out more about the anti-mandate initiative in LA, that's to overturn the vaccine mandate, you can go to medicalfreedomla.com. And if you want to follow me and see everything that I'm doing, you can go to angelamcardle.com or patreon.com/Angela McArdle. That's where I post all of my materials, speech transcripts. I do a different speech for every state convention I attend. I never do the same talk twice. And a lot of the resources and materials I put out for state affiliates and people who want to help fight against the mandates.
Nice. Well, so you're going to stick around for our After Hours podcast for a little bit. So if you guys want to listen to our After Hours podcast, please go to our Patreon, sign up for as little as $1 a month, and you get yourself access to not only this episode, but all of our past episodes. And if you don't want to use Patreon, I understand. Go to PRLfans.com and find out other ways to donate to the show, like Bitcoin. And we also have t-shirts for sale over at libertariancountry.com. If you use the code PRL or PRL Podcast, you get yourself a 10% discount. If you use the code PRL2, you can get yourself a 20% discount if you spend $50 or more. For any CBD needs you have, go to wheeliespharmacy.com and use the code PRL10 for 10% discount. And we're also brought to you by Hidden in Plain Sight by Moral Bob. And until next time, live free
or die.
Nice.